All right, before we get started, I keep being reminded that I need to make sure that I mention that we do have a GoFundMe, and the link is in the description below. Hey guys, well, I'm still at the hospital, so yeah, I guess stuff still kind of sucks. But, you know, I definitely have some updates for you, that's for sure. It is, what day is it? I can't even keep track of what days it is right now. When I'm recording this, and I can't promise that I'm gonna get this posted tonight, it might post tomorrow. It is July 5th. And I have now been at the hospital for 2 days, and they're still not positive when I get to leave. They're hoping as early as Thursday, which is in another 2 days, but that all depends on a whole lot of different things. So I guess let's just get into it. So on Saturday, which is when I made the last video, posted the last video, you know, I told you guys I was just feeling gross and not doing so hot. Was really hoping things were gonna turn around. Well, by the time I woke up Sunday morning, I wasn't doing well at all. I mean, I couldn't get up out of bed and walk to the bathroom without like having to stop to catch my breath, or like put my head between my legs because I felt like I was gonna pass out. So I mean, it had gotten worse. And just overall, like, unless I was laying flat, I just felt really bad. And I knew that I needed to go in, and I kept hesitating because I didn't want to have to sit in the ER waiting room for 8 hours like I'd done on, you know, the previous visit. And I realized that that 8-hour visit was for one specific thing, but I was like, I can't do that. I almost called work, which is our 911 center. I wasn't going to call 911, but I almost called our non-emergency to say, I think I need a ride. But then I was also afraid, like, how's Braden going to respond to, you know, an ambulance and fire truck showing up at our house and taking his mom away. And I didn't think it had gotten to that point yet. You know, Braden was going to be going to a birthday party pretty soon. We had a plan for the baby, and, you know, we could make it happen. Josh could get me to the emergency room. It was more of the what happens then, and we really didn't know. Josh was pretty sure that something like this was going to happen, that I was probably going to stay at least a couple days. So that, eventually, I know I decided, you know what, they have a nurse advice line for a reason. So I went ahead and I called them, and I told you know, I kind of gave them an update. One second. On, what had been going on since my visit on Wednesday, how things had just gotten worse, that it was, you know, almost constant diarrhea, that I wasn't able to keep anything down, and so that essentially I hadn't like eaten or taken in any nutrients in days, and they're like, yeah, you should come on in. It's like, okay. So, you know, we started kind of packing stuff up, and I remember Josh being like, pack a bag, and I'm like, what am I gonna pack? To the hospital for. I know what I'm supposed to pack. Like, if you're gonna stay in the hospital, you at least want to be comfortable, you know, pack a pillow, pack face wash, a toothbrush, you know, hairbrush, whatever. And I was like, I just need a phone charger. Like, that is how bad I was feeling. That it was like, I need a water bottle and I need a phone charger, and that's probably fine. It's probably gonna be fine. I don't think I need anything else. He said, okay. So we head to the emergency room, and his mom meets us there so that she can take Rayla. And And she told me later, this is like, she's never seen me like this, that she's never seen me look just so bad. And like that I'm not feeling good. And essentially with Josh's help, I like shuffled into the emergency room, and we sat down, and then I had just enough time to shuffle over to the bathroom and come back. And as I'm moving back over toward Josh, they were already calling my name. So the long potential wait, not an issue. And so Josh, handed me my bag, and he's like, I'm gonna go do my thing. Let me know what they say. And I head in the back, and then they start poking and prodding, and, they have to get an IV in so that they can, get some fluids started and draw blood so they can do tests and, all of that stuff. Well, I'm so dehydrated that just getting an IV started was a challenge. So had to get poked multiple times for that. But very, very kind, luckily, while dealing with all of that. And once that all gets started, the doctor comes in, he kind of tells me the rundown of what they're planning. And immediately he also told me, he goes, and I don't see you leaving. He goes, I see you staying at least overnight for observation. And I said, okay. And then they got me from the triage room to a back room within the ER to wait until, whatever the next step was. And I kind of dozed, and they ran more tests, and that was most of the day, or I kind of laid in that room. And unfortunately, the rooms in the ER, they don't have their own bathrooms. So if I had to use the bathroom, and if you've had diarrhea, you usually have to use the bathroom quite a bit. I'd have to get up and, shuffle over to the bathroom to do that, and then come on back. And eventually they got me upstairs to the oncology ward. And so at that point I was like, haha, they're pretty, they know what's going on. Like, it's, they have to run all of these other tests just to make sure there's not some other infection or whatever. But, the main problem is that I'm having side effects from the medication from my cancer treatment. So, so the oncology ward is where I should be, which was pretty cool. I honestly didn't even realize there was an oncology ward in our hospital. So they get me settled in, they get me, all plugged in and everything like that. And we'd been trying to order me food for a while, and that hadn't helped, or that hadn't happened very much. There was just, I don't even know, there was like cross signals or whatever. So I hadn't even tried to eat all day because there just wasn't any food available. Eventually I got some soup and actually managed to keep it down, which was good. And then we just kind of started the whole process that I've been in the last, day and a half, 2 days, which is kind of go up and down, being constantly on IV fluids to make sure that I'm staying hydrated enough, but unfortunately just plain IV fluids isn't enough. Because of the diarrhea, it's also just robbing my body of other nutrients and other things that it needs as well. So so I am really low on like potassium and magnesium and calcium, and all of these things are actually really important things that your body needs to function and work. And so unless those levels go to an acceptable spot, like I can't go home. And so they've been just pumping me with all of that as well. And then on top of that, I still have the diarrhea. So it's kind of this, like, can we get you up above the line even though you have the diarrhea, we still need to get that stopped, but let's at least make it so that you feel a little better. And so that's kind of the game that we've been playing. A little bit like tag. And I say we, but I just get to sit here. So cool. So yesterday, first thing in the morning, my oncologist walks in the room. He had rounds of the hospital and he stopped by to say hi, which, I mean, yes, he would do for any of his patients or anything. But it was good to see him and, and essentially just reassured that, we're going to get through all the tests and make sure that it isn't anything, any, other infection, anything like that. And as long as all of those came back negative, he was going to get me started on some steroids to try and get the diarrhea and things under control so that I could feel better and go home. He anticipated at least a 2-day stay. But it all kind of depended. Sometimes the test results can take a little bit longer. And then it depended on how I reacted to everything. So, that was the news that we had yesterday. And, throughout the day, I got more fluids, got, more of the things that my body is missing, potassium, magnesium, so many other things that either like come in drink form or pill form or other things too. And it doesn't help that I also, on top of the diarrhea, I've also still have nausea and I'm still vomiting as well. Still trying to eat and trying to do my best and taking it slow, and made it almost through the entire day without throwing up. Ate a little bit of dinner and everything seemed great, and then everything came back up. Luckily they have these nice puke bags at the hospital, so I was ready with that when it happened, and took care of that. But man, that was a blow, because it would have been really nice to have been able to go like a full day without have been like getting sick and actually being able to keep solid food down. And yeah, like the very first night too, I ended up with another 103 fever and other thing, that kind of stuff too. So, they were able to see, wow, that's a really high fever, themselves without me just telling them. And, but then last night, I did not get that high of a fever. So that's one thing that's, going in a good direction. When I got up this morning, I did have a fever. It just wasn't like 103. It was like, I think it was like 101 point something. It was high enough that they had to do some more blood work just to make sure there's not some kind of infection, even though it's, they have ruled it out multiple times, but that's okay because you never know. So did that again, and then for the first time since I was here, I was able to take a shower, which was wonderful, and it helped me feel like a little bit more of a human. That was lovely. And I kept adding things to the list of things I wanted Josh to bring me when he came by today. And so that list kept getting longer and longer. And yeah, so finally got started on the steroids today. So far hasn't done anything for what it's supposed to be doing stuff, but after I first took it, I definitely felt a little bit better, which was good. Again, it is now like past dinner time, and I have not thrown up today. Yay me. So that's, again, a good thing. I'm still have my puke bag near me because I definitely am still nauseous, and it's not too bad, but it feels like just the littlest thing can set it off. So, just taking care and trying to let, you know, the doctors and the nurses do what they do best, and that's take care of me. And as of right now, the plan is, now that the steroids have started, once I can be stable, so all of those levels that keep dropping down that I need all the IV bags for and the other things for, once those are stable for 24 hours, and this might be the challenge, and they have the diarrhea under control, I can go home. They are, right now I'm looking up, I have like a screen, like the TV screen kind of gives me a general idea of like who my nurse is right now and what my goals are and things like that. And under goals right now it says estimated discharge date of 7/7. So that's another 2 days. But that's still a lot of stuff that has to happen in 2 days to be able to go home. So I'm crossing my fingers that that's going to be a thing, but I don't know if it will, and if it's not, what that means. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. I'm feeling okay, like way better than I was when I was at home, which is good. That means that I'm in the right place, that you know, I'm getting the care that I need, which is important. And it's a good thing I didn't wait any longer. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for your support. Even, I know when Josh posted that we were heading to the ER again, you guys had some very nice comments and stuff, so thank you very much for that. And I will try and keep up on comments as well. And yeah, there we are. Thank you guys so much. Take care, be kind, make good choices, all that normal stuff. And I'll see you later.